Hey everybody, I'm Mike the Man. Thank you for watching. I'm going to do something right now that I haven't done before, meaning I'm going to listen to Web Sleuth, a whole appearance by Chris Proudfoot, because um, I haven't been able to stomach listening to him, and I need to do it for a first time with you guys together. I started listening to the appearance, and yeah, after 2 minutes, I shut off because it was just, wow, I've avoided it for a reason. And so, give me a few seconds to get this all ready because I just finished another video that you hopefully all watched. So, I still have it on the whiteboard. And what I'm going to do is just go through an interview and analyze it as it comes my way. How do they say? Please subscribe, please share, and hit the notification bell. Now, in the beginning of the interview, Web Sleuth, they say, I'm sorry, but we were going to do woohoo, our ghost stories. And immediately I realized these people are used to making stuff up. Keep that in mind when you listen to them, because it's always important to watch the angle of an interviewer and not mistake their agreement or whatever else they come up with actual integrity. Don't mistake that, because obviously those people want Chris on there and they want to keep him on there because he gets them views. And the more outrageous he gets, the more views they're gonna get. And they have 65,000 views on that particular video. I actually thought it would be more, but yeah, 65,000, quite a bit. And people love to watch that stuff. And I don't get why. And what I say to everybody that's watching it, be careful. Be careful with sidetracking. I always appreciate people who have been able to highlight some of the statements and give me the timestamp or even clip out the statements that are important. So I have listened to it in bits and pieces here and there. And I'm now going to look for the right timestamp to start. By the way, I reserve the right to react to Chris Foot as I see him, and you guys can always let me know if if you think I shouldn't. I'm very flexible with everything. The only thing I'm not flexible with are the rules of statement analysis. And well, even there, I realized that some of uh, the people who teach, they also make mistakes. So it's very important to understand. Don't learn by memorizing. See it, ask questions. If something is not clear to you or you disagree with something, feel free to mention that in the comment section or in the live section even. I have absolutely no problem with that. And it'll actually give me an opportunity to see what I need to get more into detail with, what I need to explain better, what I have skipped over, and what I have maybe taken too much time talking about. One of the things that Chris Proudfoot will immediately talk about are the things that were made up by the people from Web Sleuth. And I need to also mention to you guys that PI license, I don't think it's that hard to get. One of you guys said to me that the Proudfoot's PI, the only thing he had that was legit was an EMT license, and everything else was just online classes. So don't assume that just because somebody got a PI badge that they're good. There are many very good PIs. Some of them I have met. And I don't think that these people that you're about to hear are anywhere near that. And they don't have to be, because what they want to do is keep you tuned in. They want to make sure that you stay on, that you listen, that you share, and that you talk about Chris's appearance on their show.
You on the platform.
You have me and Chris.
I'm Chris Proudfoot. I really appreciate you coming here. I'm going to change the banner really quickly so everybody knows it's you. But I don't know how long you've been listening.
Long enough.
Okay, you sound angry. Talk to me.
Well,
What?
Very.
Talk to me. We don't.
First of all, what a lowlife. He is admitted child abuser. He is unrepentant, and he is a suspect, or at least a person of interest, in the disappearance of a child.
Want to get you. The last thing we want to do, Chris, is cause problems between you and Seth. I swear to God.
Well, I understand that, but let me help you with something.
Okay.
Chris is going to help us with something.
A lot of the information that I've been listening to on your show, coming from Chloe, the questions that are coming through people, it's very sickening and disgusting, to be personally honest with you.
Okay, let's talk about it.
If I talk to somebody and that person talks to me like that, I would be like, who the hell are you talking to? And probably end the call immediately. But again, these people are picked for a reason. There's a reason Chris Proudfoot picks them, because he knows they will bend over, they will cater to him and be apologetic, and they're going to do whatever they can to keep him on there. To them, it's a privilege to have Chris Proudfoot on there because Chris Proudfoot is getting them views. He's in the news. And people will now watch their videos, as am I.
So let me go ahead and address a few things to help y'all out.
Okay.
Chloe, you're the PI. I haven't had a chance to talk to you. You haven't even called me. You ain't done anything, first off.
Heather
is the only one. Heather is the only one who has reached out to me. Or to my wife.
We don't need to reach out to you, Chris. You're either a suspect or a person of interest. You don't need to be reached out to. Seth needs to be reached out to. Seth, his statements are clean. And if a department, a TBI or whatever, if they are good, they will make sure to hire a qualified statement analyst and a real behavioral analyst, not the people on the so-called behavior panel. They're worthless, but they will get people who have studied profiling. They will get the right people on there, and they will immediately know whom to talk to and whom not to talk to. And the last person whom you want to give too much information would be somebody like the feet. You don't want to give them too much information. You don't want to tell them everything because you want them to trip up, because you already know that they had something to do with it, which is very obvious and has been obvious, but probably not to that department.
Is the only one who has reached out to me, or to my wife.
My wife.
Actually,
we on the show,
month or so ago.
Oh my God, what a lowlife. He just keeps talking and talking. He has no reason to be angry. Is he fake angry? Probably. Honey, go get angry. Don't let them. Yes, he's sidetracking you guys. He's sidetracking because he's now going to make this all about him. He's going to get all of the attention, by the way. All of the attention. Because, why? He doesn't want the attention on the one person that was home alone with Sebastian, which is his wife.
That you don't have all the answers to is a problem.
2.
Okay, well, Chris, help us understand, because I know
Oh my
Chloe,
God.
and Chloe wants to help, and the last thing Chloe would do
No, you don't.
is want to put out misinformation. And the problem
okay,
is...
I understand it. So let me just smash something real quick.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, anything that goes on. But
imagine Sebastian. It's easy for me to make fun of this fool, but imagine a 15-year-old who had to live with that. Imagine that.
between me and my wife is not a damn bit of anybody's personal business.
Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
care what you think. I don't care what y'all got to
Yes,
say.
it is. It's our business.
That'd be like me splashing all your business out to the world.
It is our business.
Okay.
It does
Because
not
you're a
matter what
suspect
goes
or
on
a
in my
person of
house.
interest.
We're looking for my son.
Oh, really?
It's real simple.
Your stepson, right?
It doesn't matter. Stepson, my son. All the kids are treated as if they are your own. There is no title, a stepson, a son. It does not matter.
Wow.
That boy is loved by me just like he is my own. Just like he's my own.
Okay, Chris, may I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I've been doing this for a long time, and let me tell you why people...
Doesn't mean you're good at it. When somebody says, I have 10 years experience, it can be that they barely were able. I want to see results. It doesn't matter to me how long you've done this.
People are asking personal questions about you and your wife, okay? It's because of the situation in which Sebastian has gone missing, and they're wondering if whatever happened between you and your wife, does it have something to do with Sebastian going missing? I swear to you, it's not to be nosy. It's not to be rude. It's just trying to figure out what happened to Sebastian. And
okay, so let me make this even crystal clear for you.
Okay.
Get the clear for you.
And everybody out there that's got all these negativity, disgusting comments and questions.
We are not negative. We are not negative. We are not getting sidetracked. A child missing is negative. And negativity will go towards the person who is responsible, or the persons who are responsible, and the persons who cover up the responsibility of the responsible.
I'll think you know anything about when honestly you don't know a damn thing. And that's the problem.
That might be true, actually. Like I said, that panel, he chose them for a reason, you know?
You assume, you speculate, all this crap. You have no idea what me, my family, my wife, everybody involved is going through. To include...
Like who? The Bauer success?
Seth, his mom, and everybody else.
Okay.
What, Seth? Is he... Sorry, I missed it, but I'm not going back. Is he including Seth again? That's what he does. Even when he claims or tries to falsely make it look like he has been vetted, he always likes to include Seth, as if there's unity between them, as if they were the same. They're always leaning onto that, the innocent one. And remember that one statement where he said, like, this parent is innocent and this parent is guilty and that parent is innocent, and then he talks about Katie, what Katie has said. Okay, talks about Katie. You see, this parent is right here. That's his wife, Katie. That parent is Seth. And in the same order, like this and that, he says, one parent is guilty, the other one is innocent. And then you say, well, this parent is... You see, the order is very, very important. He has told us in so many statements that Seth is innocent. And when he includes Seth, he actually gives away who is guilty and who isn't. In case you missed it, just look at the titles of my last videos. And if you're interested, watch more on that. I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now.
Because it's the vile, disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouth. Yes, I'm a very
The disgusting crap that comes out of people's mouths. Like you putting down your stepson and saying he is known for crapping on himself. Everybody projects, by the way. How they project, that is the key.
Stepfather to this whole situation.
Okay, and I understand, and I hear what you're saying.
Jesus.
But again...
So, let me help y'all some.
Okay.
Y'all said some shit that's really...
Jesus, okay. Let me help you out some. Y'all
have no...
Honestly, I don't want bad language on my channel at all. I may have to wind up editing some of this out, but I guess it's okay with YouTube, right? But what you gonna do when you have somebody like that on?
It's really none of your damn business, but since you brought it up, I'm gonna clear it.
Okay.
My parents didn't go to Alaska 2 days after we went missing.
I don't think
Why my
anybody said
parents went
that.
to Alaska was because my stepfather went for work.
Okay, nobody said they went 2 days after
When did they go?
he went missing.
Oh no, it's out there. Trust me, because I have.
Okay, I did not say that. Nobody
say
said that
you.
here.
I
Okay.
said people.
Okay.
Now I have terabytes of videos of Seth on here saying some foul stuff. I've got videos of everybody and their comments out here.
But
Trust me. But
I did actually accidentally hear them say, what if they took Sebastian with them or something like that on Web Sleuth? But that's beside the point. You see, he focuses on only things that he can easily use to claim everybody's lying, right? About everything. And so that's why we have to be always very careful with statement analysis, never to go ahead, get ahead of ourselves. Never. So that's why when people ask me about premeditation, I have my own thoughts on it, but I'm waiting for the right statement for me to actually go public with what I'm thinking. So these people, they spew out all kind of nonsense. And like I say, I wasn't able to listen to any of it before, but I figure right now, since I have this on my board, I'm going to get into some of this.
bringing to you is not that I'm just pulling stuff out of the air.
I understand. No. And Chris, I'm glad you cleared that up.
Chris, when did they go to Alaska? How about that? It wasn't 2 days after. When did they go? When? What do we know for sure?
That's a good.
By the way, they didn't go for a month.
Okay.
That's a lie.
They went for 2 weeks. My stepdad went on business. My mom went with.
Okay, a 2-week period. Yes. Okay, got it.
him. But it's really nobody's business.
Well, but Chris, let me and please
Realize how he refers to Terry Bowersox as his stepdad, but to Sebastian as his son. Do you think he ever referred to Sebastian as his son before? His language indicates otherwise, you see? He's trying to play the role of a loving dad, and we all know he was anything but that. We need to always look at how people usually speak. What are the regular patterns? Because when we understand the regular patterns, then we become sensitive to the changes. And then we can analyze where we need to search for more answers. So he is playing an act here. This is not the real him.
understand. I swear to God, I'm coming from a place of understanding because I've been doing this for years. Okay?
We don't care.
Here's the thing.
I know many people who have been at their job for years, and oftentimes because they were not able to do anything else. And yes, they gained a little bit more experience, but that doesn't mean you're smart or you're good at it. And a lot of PIs are worthless, absolutely worthless. There are some excellent ones, and the gap is huge between the ones who, took some online classes and whatever else, and the ones who really are the top guys because they get results. They know what they're doing.
When you ask the public for help, they're going to look at everything and try and figure out what happened to Sebastian. And let me tell them, from an outsider looking in, it's okay, his parents left town shortly after. Was there a reason? Did they take Sebastian with him? It is speculation that I am sorry it's hurtful to you, and I understand
It's not hurtful to him.
And that's why it's important that you clear it up. Just clear it up. Nobody's trying to be hurtful or mean. I promise you, we've all been asked to help find Sebastian, and this is what we do. We try and think outside the box. We try and ask questions and think outside the box and figure out what has gone on.
But
It is
you're
not
probably
meant.
thinking outside of the box.
I cannot stand apologetic people. I really can't.
Mhm.
Does nothing but cause speculation.
Because if you keep it real, you follow the rules, you keep it integral, you don't have to do that. You don't have to apologize for anything.
And it causes people to call in tips that don't mean anything, that you're taking sources.
You see, it's lie versus lie, meaning they make stuff up and it allows Kristen to lie about other things. So it's a never ending story. So that's why I'm always saying in statement analysis, we don't do that. We don't argue baseless. If we make a mistake, we immediately learn from it and keep on going. So there is never a need when people try to involve me in an argument, get out of here.
Away from the investigation because Joe Schmo down the street thinks that
Joe
my
Schmo down
family
the...
owns a cemetery. We own a funeral home. Like, where in the hell do you get up with this stuff? Not you. I'm saying the public.
And so that, Chris, that's why.
I don't care who came up with that. Why? You know, people come up with stuff every single day. You're here to find your son, not what other people are saying.
It is great that you're here because we want to clear this up and help you get it out. And I'm going to tell you something, Chris. When it comes to the general public, they're always going to be calling in crazy tips and doing crappy things. And all we can do is say, that's not us. We are not doing that.
But it doesn't
and
matter, though.
I did want to clear
That
it
does
up.
not matter. Doesn't matter what.
Oh my God.
I did reach out to you
Move
on
on.
March 17th, publicly and privately. You responded to me publicly. You asked me to ask my question publicly. I did. You didn't.
Honestly, even though I'm doing this together with you guys now, it's hard for me to listen to. And I'm that serious. I hope that... Oh my gosh.
Respond. I reached out to you privately again. So I have reached out to you.
Where in the public? Where?
I reached out to you on Facebook. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger privately. You've never read my message.
Well, don't take this the wrong.
Idiot. Because when you're not friends, it probably went into his other inbox. You know what I mean? I don't check my other inbox maybe once every other month.
Wait, but a lot of the bullshit that I get in
Oh,
Facebook.
God.
No, that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
not-
I just want to make it clear that
Can I explain to you?
Yeah.
You send me messages along with thousands of other people.
I understand that, and that's why I took it
I
public.
sent you one
and you
before.
did respond to me and asked me to ask my question publicly because you wanted whatever answer you were going to give to be public to clear it up.
What was the
asked my
question that you asked me? Since I neglected your question.
And
What
that's not what
was
I'm
the
saying. That's not what I'm saying. I want to make it clear that I haven't not tried to reach out to you.
And Chris, I know.
By the way, I guess I need to give credit. This is Web Sleuth. You can find them on YouTube and listen to the whole thing if that's what you feel like doing.
You're mad. God, I can feel it, I can hear it, and I understand it. You've got to believe me when I tell you this. Please, if you can dial it back a bit and get us some of these answers and let us help you clear up this bull so it doesn't interfere anymore. And like I said, you're always going to have crazy people interfering and coming up with rumors, and it's so maddening and frustrating, and I hate it. It pisses me off more than anything, and
No,
anybody
it
that
doesn't.
knows me knows that.
No, it doesn't, because these people are watching your channel and they're all over your live chat. Without these people, you wouldn't be on.
Because you're not in our shoes.
I know.
You haven't been in our shoes.
Jesus.
Okay, well, you don't know that, but I haven't been in your shoes and missing a child, no. But believe me, I can understand what you're going through.
He's not talking about missing a child when he talks about how he's suffering.
And what I'm saying is we can help you, Chris. We can help you, all right? Anybody here in this chat that
If he wanted help, he would be very different. You see? When Seth only said, my son is not here, he was asked, are you satisfied with the investigation? He is not. Trust me, he's not at all. He only said my son isn't here. He made sure he would not offend law enforcement at all because he depends on them to find his son, who he thinks or has hope is still out there. You know what I mean? You don't attack people who can help you get the word out. He should suck up to them, not the other way around.
About the cemetery. It's because somebody else brought it up. Just tell us.
Exactly. And my question comes back to, where do these people come up with this crazy crap?
That's the $1 million question. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Bauer Soxes, from a more reliable source, have properties within 1 to 10 mile distances from each other. And there was a fire on Daniel Bauer Sox's property. And Melissa Proudfoot told us it makes no sense. Look, outside of the 10-mile radius. It doesn't matter if they have a funeral home. It's a junkyard. They have a lot of businesses. So don't focus too much on funeral home. That would be a little bit too easy. You know what I mean?
Online.
Let's clear it up. Let's clear it up for you.
But he is using all of this because in case somebody points out what I have just said, he will say, oh, this is just one of those rumors again.
Let us help you.
I believe, Chloe, you're saying online, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm sorry, I said that. There's a lot of
Stacy.
This is hard to listen to between his voice and the cat all the time meowing.
crazy people online, and just to let you know, I understand you get a lot of messages. I reached out to you when Sebastian first went missing too to see if we could help in any way. Oh.
Yeah, but Chris, I understand your anger.
No.
But I'm telling you, please let us help you, okay? We're not here to point fingers at you or whatever, but the problem is, and this is what we were talking about earlier, Chris, when the public is asked to help and then no information is provided, then people, because of social media, and social media is here to stay, unfortunately, this never used to be a problem. Never.
What do you mean, unfortunately? You're making money with social media. Fake. Social media is excellent. It depends on how you use it.
Until social media.
I'm always sick of people making excuses for their own bad behaviors, because that's what a lot of people are doing when they blame social media. Or their inability to parent when they blame social media. You know what I mean? Be very careful when people are on social media complaining about social media. Thank you.
And it's terrible. I will be the first one to admit it's terrible. But let us help you clear it up, okay? So you don't own a cemetery and you don't own a funeral home. Is that right?
Damn right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, everybody, stop with that bullshit, all right?
If you're clear, let me add this to the thing. We don't own a private plane. We don't own 78 pieces of property. Mm-hmm. We don't own a private yacht. What else do you guys want to come up saying that we own? Like we're millionaires.
It's not important. Move on to your missing child.
Or something like we've got this money growing off trees, which, by the way, it'd be great if we did, because I guarantee we wouldn't need anybody's help because he'd have been home by now.
Right. No, I understand. No, I completely understand. Okay. But understand when the public is asked to help.
I may have missed something here, but I'm not going to go back. I need to get through this.
With social media, this is what social media does. And it can be your
worst nightmare.
Again, I heard their speculations, and I hate to say this, but this particular part, Chris is right about when it comes to these people on the panel. However, he is obviously using this in order to send out a message, which means don't look at us, don't look at my family, which also indicates to me that's exactly where we need to look at.
Or your best friend.
Yes.
And let us help it. And I can give you examples. I can have you talk to people that have said, yes, the people at Web Sleuths, they've helped us. They've been great. Okay? But hey guys, I understand why Chris is angry because it's coming 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Horrible crap about him.
He needs to pay attention to where his missing son is. Of course we know he knows. But look at Seth, what he's saying. My son is not here. He's not complaining. He depends. He knows that whoever is out there and listening could be offended by anything that he says. That's how the world works. And in his opinion, well, in his hope, Sebastian may be out there somewhere, and this could be the person who will find his son.
Okay, and his family. I get the anger. So we're going to help you. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let my cat out before she drives everybody
Yes,
crazy.
please, and you shut up too.
I apologize. So hang on. Chloe, is there anything you'd like to say while I let my cat out before she drives me nuts?
I will ask the question. I'll actually read you the message I sent you.
Jesus. How long is this? 16
so
more minutes?
I know this was March 17th.
Sorry about that, guys.
Good afternoon, Chris. I wrote this in a chat you're involved with, but I'm worried it may be lost because there's so much chatter.
I'm sorry,
First,
guys.
let me say I'm a Tennessee private investigator and have been praying and actively bringing awareness to Sebastian from day one. His case is near and dear to my heart. I had a question. I know Sebastian went to his dad's every other weekend or so. Did you come home?
The reason is that she's reading this. She doesn't have anything to say. She's dumbfounded. She knows something is wrong here, but she doesn't want to lose him as a guest. So ingratiation is not a good thing.
On those weekends, not a specific date, but just in general? Or did Katie come and stay with you? Are you often gone during the week? Just curious about Sebastian's day-to-day dynamic with his parents. And then I messaged you again after I posted that question publicly. You asked me to post it publicly, and I did, and then I wasn't answered.
Sorry, guys. I hope you're having interesting discussion in the live chat. Please also remember anything that I miss, anything important, please leave a comment.
And I said, hey, Chris, just messaging again. So it'll be at the top. I know you said you get a ton of messages.
See, they wanna kill time.
So, and again, we understand that you get a ton of messages. We absolutely understand that.
Oh, God.
Is there somebody else in our chat room? I can't see it. Heather.
This show is horrible.
Heather, do you want to come up? I guess she does.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Oh, she is? Okay. Oh, hi, Heather. I didn't see you there.
Hi.
Okay.
There's a lot of talk. I didn't really have a chance to.
You know, this is the first time I'm hearing these people, and I guess Heather is the one who later trashed Seth.
Say hello.
And this Heather is the other private investigator.
I know who Heather is.
Okay. Heather, would you like to say anything?
No.
Well,
Well,
so I spoke with them earlier today, and obviously, as you know, Mr. Proudfoot did message me and ask for a number so he could come in, and I think that it is past due. I think that it's a good thing for Mr. Proudfoot to address some of the allegations that are being made. I would like to have the opportunity, you know, like I said to him earlier today, it's good for us, Chloe and I, to have access to them, to be able to, when we get this information, instead of having to go around them.
Oh my God, how can people watch
to
this?
The answers to those questions, to actually be able.
I know I have to, because I am looking at other statements, not just this. This will come. And I started listening to this because I wanted to make sure Chris actually said dissolved. I had to make sure, because I saw the transcript and I have to make it 100% sure. I couldn't believe it, but this is how he trips up.
To come to him for those answers and try to clear them up directly. So I'm glad he's here. I really am. Even though he's
I am too. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled.
I'm glad he's here, and I've spoken to him before, and he's been very upset with me.
That's why he's on your show, because you're apologetic. He pre-interviews people, and people who are steadfast, he doesn't want them. He wants only people who are apologetic and who will do anything to keep him on. And again, I've said it before. The beginning says, oh, I'm sorry to those who expected to hear woohoo. our ghost story episode, because we have Chris Proudfoot on today. Look at also Crabtree. I mean, the guy from the forest. I'm going back to doing UFO videos. That's what he said. So these are people who are used to making up crap. You know what I mean? This is nothing to them. They have a PI license, but they're making up stuff about ghosts. Unless you want to believe in all of this, it's up to you, you know. But I am looking at the patterns. What do these people actually do? Do they actually investigate, or do they want to, you know, just kind of insert themselves? So I understand now Seth fired them, or one or two of them, and I can see why. I can see that these people are not effective, and they talk way too much. A PI needs to get his job done. Like the Proudfoot's PI. What was he doing? Well, it's a different story.
But once he calms down, I think maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can get somewhere.
Please.
Yeah, okay, so let's address something real quick with your viewers who say I'm drunk and belligerent. No, I'm just a pissed off dad. So let's get that real clear.
Hey, everybody, mods.
So if you want to keep your comments, and that's how your audience wants.
I'm wondering if during this time he turned the microphone off and Katie whispered that in his ear what to say.
To play this game?
No.
Then no, I'm not going to clear up anything or turn the chat off. If you want to clear this up, let's get it right. And let's take all the stupid people out of this equation and answer the deal.
You're calling people stupid. Chris Proudfoot is calling people stupid. No, they're on your level. They make stuff up. These are the types of people that you like. That's why you're on this particular channel. You could go anywhere. You could call Good Morning America and they'll fly you out there. And you say, please, here is a picture of my stepson, Sebastian Rogers. Help me. They will have you on CNN. Any of that story was getting big. But you pick certain social media channels because you can pre-interview them and you cannot control. What is his name? Vinny Politan, something like this. You could go on there, just like Seth, but he will ask you questions that you are going to trip up on. And you will not be able to yell him down. He will not say, I'm sorry. You see?
Okay, Chris, hang on. Mods, if anybody says anything rude about any of our guests, I want you to ban.
Jesus Christ. Censorship.
Kick them out, okay?
It's like this. If you ain't got nothing factual about me to say, keep your mouth shut.
Well, okay, but Chris, they don't know if it's
Keep your mouth shut.
Exactly. That's the best recommendation I can give them.
Well, but
Right.
they want to ask questions, and let me tell you why.
Questions are one thing, not a statement where I'm belligerent and I'm drunk. Because guess what, folks? I could read the comments that you post.
I don't think you're drunk. I think that's your natural state.
I know, and I'm telling everybody, if anybody says anything rude, they're booted from chat. Mods, if you could boot them. Stacy, could you get Ping over here to help us? Anybody?
And the other part of this is if it's nothing in regards to Sebastian, I really don't give a shit, people.
No, and I agree.
Everything is about Sebastian, you moron. Everything is about Sebastian. You see? But you chose this channel. You chose to swim in mud because you feel comfortable there. It is your choice. It was my choice never to listen to this before, by the way. I have never listened to it. That was my choice. But your choice, the fact that you're going on this type of program, shows who you are.
Hey, Chris, and I mean, I don't know if you heard, I didn't want to discuss.
Oh, I asked a lot of questions and she wouldn't discuss it. Absolutely.
I think it's semantics at this point. He's been missing for 2 months.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys, but I know in a couple of minutes there will be some real statements that I can use.
And I don't know how his bathroom habits are going to help me find him.
You guys still with me? Okay.
Exactly. Mind you that children with autism do have bladder and bowel movement issues to control themselves. but I'm not.
Wait a minute. What? No. Children with autism do not have these issues in general. Maybe some do. Traumatized children have these issues. It's not an autism thing.
I'm not really worried that people can't read and do their own.
Well, but Chris, let me tell you.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and care about that either.
Let me tell you why that was brought up. Okay, it's because of what Seth said. Seth said at his house. He didn't.
Yes, you were correct. No, you were correct. You just hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You just hit the nail on the head.
No.
Seth has opened his mouth. He has said a lot of things he probably shouldn't. And he needs to learn how to close it because
No, Seth should have said a lot more. Seth should have said on every single program, they said he walked away, but this is nonsense. His shoes were all there. I had to remind them that the shoes were there of Sebastian. Red flag number 1. Sorry, his shoes are all there. Had he run away, his shoes were right there. Why didn't he put a pair on? Seth did not say enough, but he wants to intimidate Seth, and unfortunately Seth fell for this and didn't say everything that he should have said in the very beginning.
But honestly, none of that has anything to do with finding Sebastian.
Yes, it has.
Right, and you know what? But Chris, let's keep it that.
Seth needs to think outside of the box and look at every single opportunity and possibility without anybody censoring him or telling him whom not to look at. And looking at the Bauer Saxes and the Proudfoots is where we need to look.
Way, because Seth has said he is not going to do that anymore, and he hasn't.
Bullshit. Let me explain to you what.
That is so horrible. Again, Seth could have done a lot more. I'm sorry, guys, but this is how I see it.
That Sunday when I went to that vigil and spoke to Seth.
The problem can be, I guess, how Seth has said some things in the beginning, but who cares? He's a father of a missing child. And everybody has a different style of blowing up. And it wasn't any worse than what I'm hearing right now. At all.
Very calmly, very respectfully. We were having a good conversation while everybody's...
He always talks about respect, right? Nobody respects you, Chris. Nobody. People pretend to respect you because either you intimidate them or they want to keep you on their show. But you see, his victim, Sebastian, was forced to pretend respect. Call him Mr. Chris and all of that. What do they say? People who have no money talk about money. People who who are hungry talk about food. And Chris talks about respect. Where was your respect when you talk about Sebastian is known for crapping on himself in school? He likes to crap on himself and pee on himself. That's what he said. Oh my God.
Stood behind me and would snap the little pictures and stuff. Heather came up in the conversation. She saw us. It was not a aggressive conversation. It was actually a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But see, it wasn't 3 hours later. Seth was on YouTube on somebody else's show saying that he's blaming Katie, my wife,
Yes.
for Sebastian's disappearance.
She is to blame.
Now, unless you got cold hard facts, which you don't open your mouth.
Oh my
And all
God.
you're doing is making an ass out of
Jesus
yourself because
Christ.
you're assuming.
Jesus.
Say that everybody is grieving and handling this situation differently.
I guess I need to tell you guys, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Everybody that I'm mentioning is innocent until they are guilty, proven guilty, and everything I'm saying is my opinion only. Okay, thank you.
I won't comment on if I agree with any of the ways that people are acting at this point. I do think, in the last week we've been trying.
How do these people have a show? Who's watching this? I mean, who's watching their other shows? I mean, I'm watching only because of the foot. But who's watching? Who can listen to this?
To build a bridge. And I know it's difficult and it's not going to be just clean
And I listened to hundreds of hours of Peter Hyatt's videos and watched them and rewatched them and other people that have something to say. I'm looking for anybody anything that I can learn from. But what can I learn from these people? Nothing.
Perfect. But I think if we can all just refocus and try to not focus on the other things people have done that make you angry.
So here, let me.
By the way, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because some of you may have listened to this before, and I would love for you just to re-listen with my take on it. You know what I mean? You can listen to it together and discuss it in live chat.
Not focus on the other things people have done that make you angry.
So here, let me explain to y'all something that y'all don't get a chance to see, because unfortunately we're meeting on a very bad circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but Seth can contest to this. So
Again, he's putting himself into the same group with Seth, the innocent parent.
Seth comes to Tennessee. He gets his job in the security force. He wants to be law enforcement. He has had a dream of being law enforcement since I have known him.
Okay.
There was a chance for something that came up, and I called him and said, look, I think you should apply for this. I think you'd be great at it, which is the job he currently has.
Okay.
Now, he gets accepted. He's excited. He calls me.
That may explain that. I still don't know what happened exactly in California when Katie switched from Seth to Chris, but anyways.
And says, thank you, man. I really appreciate you helping me. That I have been a supporter and a cheerleader for him this whole time.
Okay.
But y'all don't get to
Nobody's saying you were not, but what does that matter?
see that. And Seth's not going to tell you.
That might be why Seth is a little bit apologetic around him. He feels maybe like he owes him. I don't know.
That. During the middle of the training, Seth decided one day he wants to call me, tell me he doesn't think he's going to complete it. But I told him, I said, look, you're going to sit there and you're going to go back in there and you're going to complete this training because your son thinks you hang the moon and the sun. So you need to go in there and prove to your son that dreams and goals can be met.
You see, nobody bad is always bad, and nobody good is always good. But the bottom line, this has nothing to do. When are you going to start appealing to a potential abductor? Because you're telling us Sebastian walked away. When are you going to say, Sebastian, if you hear me, please run to a phone, run to a stranger, run into a 7-Eleven and say, help me, call the police. My name is Sebastian Rogers. When are you going to do that? Because that's what Seth did. He didn't worry. And there are so many attacks, including these so-called people on this forum, on this panel, who have trashed Seth again and again. But he knows what matters, and Chris does not. That is the difference here.
Mm-hmm.
I have been very, very supportive of him trying to do these things. I have told him on Sunday I supported him then. I would support him now. But I will not stand by and watch somebody be straight up disrespectful and accuse people and say things that have absolutely no bearing. Absolutely nothing.
Got it. Now shut up.
Okay, well, again, I just, if I could just step in.
I mean, Chris, I would love for us to refocus and talk
Yes.
about
What can we talk about? Oh yeah, Sebastian.
not necessarily the investigation that we can't talk about, but
Why
what
not?
you know has been done, what you understand about dog tracks, what you understand about the circumstances. We could go on and on all night, and I know we have a lot of really big feelings and that are valid. But I think Heather would agree. We would just really love to redirect this back to Sebastian because
Wow. Finally.
the anger doesn't solve anything.
It's not truly all anger. It's discipline.
No, and I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Anybody else I can think of would be like, oh yeah, Sebastian, you're right. and go back to that, at least pretend to care about Sebastian.
Just saying, at this point, it's just
not helping find Sebastian.
yeah, and it's
Duh.
like an energy vampire, you know,
Right.
and we're all tired. And I mean, I can't imagine how tired you are. I know how tired I am. So I would love to redirect back to what you know and what you think.
So here's the crazy thing. Earlier, I should have just listened to my intuition and started right here, because that was actually the point where I started to listen. And so I'm sorry if I wasted some of your time, but let's get into it.
And then I have some questions that I hope you can answer that will help clear things up.
I'll answer questions unless it's something I have been told by law enforcement that I cannot answer.
He's already telling us I'm not going to answer all of your questions, because he's ready to pull the plug at any time, any given time. He's already saying, watch what you're asking, because he knows he's not going to be able to last by answering, right? So he, though according to law enforcement, they didn't tell him ever to say anything. I don't know if it's true or not, but they told him that that's at least what they said. They said we didn't tell him not to say anything. And the things, many of the things that he says he cannot talk about, like the date he last saw Sebastian, nonsense, complete nonsense.
From day one, and I'm telling you now, it has not changed. So ask your questions.
Did you pass the polygraph?
You see, he said this. Oh, what was it?
So I sure did, with flying colors.
Okay, here's the thing. Listen to this. In statement analysis, you have a clear, reliable denial, and you have also reliable affirmation, right? Like I've said before, did you kill your wife? No, I didn't kill my wife. End of sentence. That's a reliable denial. When you say, no, why would you say I did that? I wasn't even there, blah, blah, blah. You count the words on your fingers, on your 10 fingers, and see how many words they feel the need to say after they deny something. And all of that needs to be flagged. A real denial is very short. Patsy Ramsey said, I didn't do it, John Ramsey didn't do it. That's a clear, reliable denial. Of course, there were 3 people in the house, but she is telling us, I believe her. She didn't do it, and John Ramsey didn't do it either. The same with an affirmation. Yes, I did. Did you pass the polygraph? Yes, I passed it. And a story. Look how many words he needs to add. This is not a reliable affirmation at all.
And it was TBI that gave it to you?
Yes, TBI gave it to me along with another agency.
Okay.
No, that was kept quiet because it's nobody. We kept it all quiet.
Well, no, I mean,
If I had to take a guess, they didn't tell him the results. But he also told us, remember, how easy it is to cheat and how they let you change the question and the wording. And the wording is the most important thing about the polygraph, because people can use the types of wordings that that allows them. Okay, for example, Bill Clinton said, I didn't have relations with that woman. If you had asked him, did you have relations with Monica Lewinsky? And he said, no, I didn't, because what happened, he didn't consider relations, right? The wording, and other people do. You have to, in polygraph examinations, use the exact wording, the wording of the subject. And it is extremely important to have an experienced polygrapher there. So I don't know if he passed or not. maybe if they were incompetent and easy to manipulate. But the bottom line is, when he thinks about polygraph tests, he thinks about cheating already because he has a need to cheat. He has something to hide. So it doesn't matter to me what the result is. And if the TBI, I mean, I don't see any competence there, to be honest with you. With the Summer Wells case, I see a lot of incompetence. You see, let me say, police, I praise police all of the time, but that doesn't mean every police department is up to par. Especially if they make as many mistakes as have been made here. They probably don't want to think about this case anymore, because they would have to admit to all of their mistakes. If there's enough pressure from the public, they will have to do that. But the people are busy on these kinds of channels arguing, and that's mostly what I see. So the division is divide and conquer almost. They say, oh, cool, these people are busy with each other. They're hating on the PI. They're talking about things that are absolutely insignificant. So why do we need to step out and look as dumb as we were? You know what I mean? Let's move on. Give me a second. La 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 la.
I mean, I think it's great that you're telling us now.
Right, and Seth knew about it the day on that Tuesday when I took it past it. They called and told him that.
How does he know, by the way, how to beat a polygraph? I'm thinking Katie probably looked worried. Katie's a great researcher. She's a great script writer. I think that she spent a lot of time researching and preparing him.
I passed it.
I don't know if he passed or not, but if he passed, he already told us that he manipulated the questions.
And okay, well, maybe he was told he couldn't say anything.
No, he was told he could say something. They told him so he would try to keep his rhetoric down. That's why they told him. And I have the text message where they asked me if they could tell him, and I said, I have listened to y'all from the beginning. I'm listening to you now, so please do what you feel is best.
Okay, so you passed the polygraph with flying colors. Let me ask you this.
You pass an exam at university with flying colors. This is not an examination. This is not our crane operator license. You can say, I passed with flying colors. No, you told the truth or you didn't. This is not a challenge. You tell the truth. And if you don't, you get busted. You get caught.
People in chat are asking, did you tear down any posters of Sebastian?
Oh, this
or
is
anyone
good.
you know?
Now, stay tuned. Now, finally, it's getting good. Ma'am?
That is a straight up no, and I can't believe people would think I would.
Again, where's your reliable denial? You have to say no, I did not. So did he tear down posters close to his house because he didn't want to see them? I don't know. Well, it's not a reliable denial. He doesn't give us a reliable denial.
Tear down flyers or posters of my missing stepson.
Okay,
Which,
again,
another thing.
Suddenly he's your stepson again. Okay.
It's just kind of funny that you bring this up because some people.
It's funny again, right?
And yes, they are pertinent to the investigation, have said that there's a video floating around of me tearing these things down. Mm-hmm. If you got it, post it. Because if you ain't got it, shut up.
And I mean, I'll say on record from myself, I have never seen that. And
exactly, because it doesn't exist.
I'm sure it doesn't.
And I want to say on record that in my conversation earlier with Chris and Katie, Katie said she had one request of me.
Did somebody see him do it? Well, I don't know. Do I need evidence? A video posted? Why does she say sure it doesn't? Okay, anyways, let's go.
That was that when I do these interviews that I, at some point in the interview, remind people to hand out the flyers and put them up everywhere.
please, we're begging. I don't know how to beg you even more. I don't know what it's going to take for America, the world, whoever to understand. We are begging you to hang posters, talk to whomever, spread the words, keep your eyes open. And when you find something, don't wait 2 weeks to make a report. Because let me tell you something, that's what's been going on. Some of the leads that are coming in are 2 and 3 weeks old.
Why do you think that?
So they want, Katie understands that false leads are beneficial to her. They want people to call in anything, any nonsense. And a lot of the reports, when people call in sightings, most of them are false. And they know that. Katie knows it. Chris, I don't think so, but Katie has briefed him on that and probably said, you know what? We need as many tips as possible because Sebastian is not out there. That's why they keep saying he's out there. No, you need to look within a 10-mile radius. And I've already said, it was one of my first questions. Have the cadaver dogs ever been sent to the properties of the Bowersoxes? And 1 second, the PI says to me, it's never too late. Even after decades, 90 years, cadaver dogs can still detect that a body has been there. And I've watched documentaries before where cadaver dogs, in fact, after 4 decades or something, sniffed out a shoe that was buried that must have been on a dead body before. But then, later on, I asked the question again, and he actually forgot what he said. And he said to me, it's already been 9 months. Let it go. It's too long. It's been too long. See, he contradicted himself. So that's a sensitive area already. And I have examined the statement by this PI before, showing he knows they are guilty. And he is trying to keep them out of prison. Wow, it's been a long time. I can't believe I'm doing this.
And if you see something, you pick up the phone immediately.
Right.
And you call.
Yes, he wants he wants all of these false leads. He knows what happened. He knows Sebastian is not out there. And he wants the police and everybody to be worn out. One false sighting after the next until everybody says, I don't care anymore.
Cops.
Yeah.
Don't call your best friend and say, hey, I think I've seen this kid.
You see, he wants the police to be called because he wants them to be sick of it and make it a court case. Make it a court case very gladly.
Don't call these investigators. No offense, Chloe and Heather. You don't call them first. You don't call Seth. You don't call anybody but law enforcement only and make your report immediately.
I will say, we've received tips that maybe haven't been called into law enforcement, but we call them in.
Right.
And we also received tips that have been called into law enforcement, but the person that called the tip in didn't get any feedback when they were told they were going to be called back. And so they were worried that maybe it didn't get looked into enough. So I don't think
for the record,
passing
right. So
to law.
For the record, I think what folks need to understand, because y'all don't have all the information that Katie and I, and some of the information that Seth has. You don't. And I understand.
Yeah, and some of the information Seth has. The information me and Katie have, they have the information. They know what happened. Seth has some. Seth can tell a few things. He has his suspicions. He has all the information. He knows exactly what happened.
And I'm sorry that we can't give you every single thing under the sun. I wish we truly could.
Yes, it would be easier for him not to have the burden of having to hide what happened.
But unfortunately, we can't.
Yes.
Right.
But when you do make a report and you give them a name and a number, you tell them the location, you tell them a very detailed description and everything. You don't expect.
I still can't believe people underestimate Katie, and this is actually coming from him. Katie is the one with the ideas, and Chris is the presenter of these ideas. When you hear Chris, when you heard him before, that was the real Chris. That's how he talks. Now he is speaking from a script that he had to memorize. Katie coached him very well.
To get a call back from law enforcement, period. Don't. Because I'm sorry, but they don't have the time to stop and answer every single callback when they're looking for missing children. Not just ours, but there's so many children out there that are missing.
Right.
Exactly. Please stop focusing on Sebastian. If you have something, do not talk online. Do not talk to anybody else. Do not discuss the case with each other. Waste law enforcement's time with your false lead so the case becomes an ice cold case.
So I'm sorry that some of y'all feel that you deserve an answer, but it's not. And I'm sorry, it's just going to sound rude when I say this, but you don't deserve an answer.
Yes, we do.
You get the answer when we get the answer.
Oh, wait.
The family gets the answer on a missing boy, not strangers. They're not.
Wait a minute. When we get the answer, what about when Sebastian is found? He doesn't expect Sebastian to be found. At least not alive. He doesn't expect him to be found at all. He knows. He knows Sebastian won't be found. You get the answers when Sebastian is found. That's when all of the answers come. And the PI said recently something like, victims tell their own stories and cases solve themselves. That's what he is afraid of. That's what they want to stop from happening. He's saying, do not talk to each other. Do not discuss, especially don't call Seth. Don't call the investigators. The investigators have the time. They would be the ones to call as well. Because you don't want to waste police's time. Every time you see a skinny 15-year-old or skinny teenager with glasses, which is exactly what happened. That type of sidetracking is exactly what he wants.
Calling y'all to tell you.
Chris, this is what I have to tell when I talk to law enforcement, and it's difficult to accept, and I still have trouble with it too. This is the way it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. But again, when you ask the public for help, people are going to start looking, and they look at the last place that Sebastian was known to be.
Duh.
And then it just goes from there.
Let's
and I'm
see.
sorry, it shouldn't, but that's how it does. And we can...
What you mean it shouldn't, you upkisser? What do you mean it shouldn't? Statistically speaking, this is exactly where we need to look at. What kind of PI are you?
Clear a lot up tonight. And I'm
Yes,
so
let's
glad...
do this.
Okay, VW says, Chris, are you frustrated with law enforcement, or do you feel like you're getting adequate information from them?
Now that's going to be good, people.
I'm not upset with law enforcement. I'm going to tell you right now, the agencies that are involved have thrown every asset that they have at this. What people don't understand, this has actually probably been one of the largest searches for a missing child.
Yes, bragging, but he's also telling you that there is no need to look within the 10-mile radius.
In Sumner County history, period, and probably in the state with a number of...
Except they made so many mistakes in the beginning that their hands are tied and they cannot get the search warrants to search the Bowers houses or their home again.
Assets. Do I think they're doing it?
Allegedly.
Everything they can? You bet your sweet tail I am. You can bet on it.
Mm-hmm.
Bet on it.
I don't think, just short of making everybody in this United States go hand in hand, start on one side of the country and sweep through hand in hand, that's probably about, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yes, look all over the United States, but don't look within a 10-mile radius.
I'm very happy with what they've done. I know there are some other folks that don't feel that way, and I'm sorry because they are not in the know.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to remember one thing. They're not going to expend every single asset, every single minute of the day on one child.
Of course.
You have to keep in mind how many children are missing, and it has to be equally dissolved among everybody. And I'm not going to lie to you, it hurt. It hurt the day that they came in on day 8 and told us that they have to pull back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't nothing. There was more of a gut punch to take.
It ain't nothing.
Than being told that. I mean, it.
I can imagine. I mean, yeah, because you're not expecting them to say that. You're not expecting them to say, yeah, we're going to pull back and put less.
I do expect that, but here's the thing. I'm also.
Where they wanted to go, they probably knew they couldn't go. So it made no more sense for them to just aimlessly look through the forest because they already knew they messed up and they cannot go where they need to go.
A realistic person.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to expend every aspect and every asset of every single second of the day finding Sebastian. That's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not.
Really?
I want to read you a comment, and I like this comment from Brittany Cole.
So I'm sick of the foot for now. Stay tuned, please, for part 2. Hey guys, are you still with me? I appreciate that you're watching me. And I guess I have to put in the description that feel free to fast forward, right? But I think you guys do this anyways. Some of you. I do this a lot. Because I do this all the time, actually. I'm not patient with introductions and with a lot of blah, blah, blah. So I always move forward pretty quickly to see the center of a video and if there's anything useful for me. But once again, hey, thank you guys. Please leave me your comments, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And everything I've said is my opinion and my opinion only. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And until next time, I'm yours, Mike the Man. Thank you for watching.